What is up, guys? It's Cal. So BlizzCon Day 1 happened yesterday, where they talked about each of their games. They're having a new Necromancer character in Diablo 3, new expansion to Hearthstone called, I think, Mean Streets of Gagatan, some things right here, the Storm, new character in Overwatch, whatever. But I'm going to focus on World of Warcraft, because that's kind of what this channel is about. Now, yesterday I posted a video reacting to a leaked cinematic in WoW, and I pretty much told my predictions of what I thought I interpreted that cinematic as, and lo and behold, it was almost all wrong, because they announced some stuff today that a little bit contradicts what I said yesterday, but I'll be talking about that probably towards the end of this video. So let's get started at what they talked about in regards to WoW. So the next patch is going to be 7.1.5. And they're talking about releasing patches in 0.5s like this because it allows the team to have content quicker for us. Though the 0.5s, like 7.1.5 or 7.2.5, aren't really going to be adding new content. They're going to be revolved around new rewards, new systems like class tuning, things like that. And another reason they do it is because they pretty much create like the patches all at a time, and then they realize, okay, so some of this patch isn't done yet, but we want to release this other part of the patch. That's what the 0.5s are, essentially. So first thing that's coming in 7.1.5, or I guess one of the things, is Mists of Pandaria time walking with 6 dungeons. And those 6 dungeons are on the screen now. It's Temple of Jade Serpent, Stormstout Brewery, Shadowpan Monastery, Gate of the Setting Sun, Mogshon Palace, and Siege of Nizao Temple. I think I just had a stroke. And then they kind of elaborated on time walking dungeons. Whenever they release new time walking dungeons, it's going to be about the expansion, two expansions ago. Like, they're not going to release Warlords time walking dungeons to this expansion. 7.1.5 is also going to reintroduce the Brawlers Guild with a lot of new bosses. There's also going to be a new thing happening in the Brawlers Guild. You know how sometimes you go there and then there might be like 10 people in line, so you have to wait like this long amount of time before you can battle whatever boss you want to battle, and then you might end up losing and then you have to wait another like 10 to 20 minutes. It's just kind of not very fun. Well, there's going to be a new battle called Rumbles, which will occasionally occur, and it spawns a raid level boss that pulls all players who are waiting in to kill it, and it gives the rewards. I don't know what the rewards are, but it shares rewards between everyone who attacked it. There'll also be new rewards at the Brawlers Guild, like new shirts, and there's going to be a Basilisk mount. Also, there's going to be small holidays that happen throughout the months. And these holidays pertain more to WoW, so they're not like Christmas or Valentine's Day or Halloween or anything like that. Like January 22nd is going to be called Anchorage Remembrance Day. And these micro holidays are usually a day or two long. So we're not exactly sure what's going to happen, and that is going to be the first one. Also, Blade's Edge Arena is going to be updated similar to how Nowground was. It's just visual effects, so no gameplay added. There's going to be more class tuning, obviously. Let's see what else is here. Oh, here we go. This is one thing I'm excited about because I'm a hunter. They're probably going to reintroduce traps to marksmen or beastmaster hunters, or both of them, because they thought that giving survival hunters the only ones who are able to use traps was a bad idea, which I agree with. I miss my freezing trap, honestly. Now 7.1.5 is going on the PTR right after BlizzCon, so that's in a couple days. Now on to 7.2, which is going to be called the Tome of Sargeras. Now, as you can tell by the title, we are going to return to the Tome of Sargeras, and we're going to have our Class Hall campaign continued. There's going to be like new factions, new world quests. There's also going to be class world quests, which is pretty cool. Now, when we enter the Tome of Sargeras, we're going to be able to build buildings similar to in Draenor. You know how you could go to the different areas of Draenor and then build one of 2 buildings in that place, and it gave you a new ability. They're kind of doing that here at the Tome of Sargeras, where you'll be able to choose what building you want to build, and they'll give you different rewards. It'll change the story. It's not going to be a linear progression story, so there's going to be quests all over the place. You can go in any order you want. There's also going to be things called Legion Assaults, which is kind of like pre-expansion events, where you defend against Legion invasions on the Broken Isles. And then something big is that flying is returning in 7.2. So they're adding the second part of the Pathfinder achievement, so make sure you get the first part done if you haven't yet, and then you'll complete the second part, which will allow outdoor flying. And they have said that the second part isn't going to require any raid or dungeon content. And that flying is going to be account-wide, so you only need to get on one character. Now, this is something a bit interesting, and I'm curious as to, well, how it's going to be implemented exactly, is that each class is getting their own epic class mount, which is a little odd considering like paladins, warlocks, like already have mounts, but they are getting new mount. Every class is. So on the screen now is going to flash each of the mounts for each of the classes. And then how you get these mounts is through class order campaign. So after the Nighthold dungeon, Nighthold raid, is going to be the Tome of Sargeras, which is a 9-boss raid. There's also going to be a new dungeon called the Cathedral of Eternal Night, which is a 4-boss dungeon. It's got normal, heroic, mythic plus, all that good stuff. Now they're going to expand on your artifact weapon. They're adding new traits, and they're adding a new point to all of your 3-point traits. So apparently a total of 15 new points are being added, and there's also going to be more artifact knowledge that's coming. They're also giving more relics, which are finally going to modify 2 traits at a time instead of 1. There will also be new artifact appearances that will focus more on solo player play, so you don't have to go into dungeons and raids to get them. And it's kind of inspired by instances like the Warlock Green Fire quest, if you remember that, where you solo went into Black Temple and did all that stuff. That's kind of how it's going to be. Now, this is a little strange, is that Guardian Druids are getting a new Werewolf Bear styled skin, which I mean looks pretty cool if you're into that. 7.2 is also retuning Heroics and Mythic Plus dungeons, their difficulty, and the rewards are getting, let's see, Karazhan will be broken into an upper and lower sections, and you can queue for each section. And there will also be Mythic Plus of Karazhan as well. Now, they haven't said the time on Mythic Plus, but I'm curious to know what it is, because when I did Karazhan Mythic, I had 5 hours clocked in that place, and I went through 3 different groups. So, it was a bit annoying. Court of Stars and Arcway are also becoming queuable. There's going to be new keystone affixes. The release date of 7.2 hasn't been announced yet, but they're saying it's soon, which kind of always say, but it is going to come to the PTR after 7.1.5. And then they've talked about that 7.2.5 is a thing, but they haven't said anything about that patch yet. And then the final thing, which kind of debunked my whole theory of my last video, is that after 7.2 we are going to Argus. So with that being said, I'm going to now talk about my last video, my predictions, and everything that has been debunked. So if we remember, we saw Gul'dan, we defeat him at the top of Nighthold or whatever, inside the Eye of Amethol. The rift that he is opening, I believe now is Kil'jaeden. It is not Sargeras, considering that we are going into the Tome of Sargeras in 7.2. Kil'jaeden is someone who I kind of thought it would be, but I was more leaning towards Sargeras because I thought it made a bit more sense. Though I could be wrong about it being Kil'jaeden. It's just, it now makes more sense that it's Kil'jaeden. And then on top of that, let's see, what else did I talk about? I guess Argus. Yeah, I guess the portal thing and then the Argus thing are the only 2 things that I kind of got wrong. I said that the next expansion is going to be based around Argus. Well, looks like 7.3 is probably going to be based around Argus, which I would like an entire expansion based around it. I don't know if there's enough material there. There probably isn't, now that I think about it. It's kind of similar to the Emerald Dream, how people for a long time have wanted an Emerald Dream expansion, and then Blizzard has come out saying there's not enough content in the Emerald Dream, so it cannot have an Emerald Dream expansion, which is probably the same thing that pertains to Argus, since Argus is the Draenei home. It's not like a multi-factioned home, so I'm assuming that 7.3 is going to be based around there, but I am kind of excited to go to Argus. I think that will be really cool. And who knows, maybe 7.3 will lead into the next expansion, which could be Argus. It could be, I mean, we have no idea what the next expansion is going to be yet. And that is about it, guys. That is everything that they've talked about in day 1 of BlizzCon. If they talk about a lot more stuff in day 2, I'll probably make a video on that. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. You can leave a like on it, sub to the channel, and I'll see you guys in the next video.